Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. It's coffee chat time. If you're not out of bed, get out of bed, get your cup of coffee, and join us for coffee chat. It's a pretty day here in Florida today. Hey, Google, good morning.
Hi, Lucky Dog. The time is 7:59 a.m. Currently in DeLand it's 68 and sunny. Today, it will be sunny, with a forecasted high of 86 and a low of 59. Have a nice day.
Hey, they said on the news it's going to be closer to 90. See, she gets it down a little bit. You know what she didn't tell me? Just take garbage out today. Generally on Mondays she'll say take garbage out, but she didn't do it. I don't know what's on with that. But you know, I did change it till like 4 o'clock because I don't usually take it out till later in the day. Anyways, that's Google. How's everybody doing this morning? Weekend's over. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, Denny. Glad to see you. Ron's probably gonna pack up from camping this morning sometime and head home. And what are you up to this morning, Denny? How's things on the what do we call that? Do we call that the left coast?
Golf side.
The Gulf side or the left coast? All right. So yesterday it was rainy here. Rained pretty heavily, you know, all morning long, and we went over to the pet store and got a couple fish for the aquarium, and Cassie the puppy got her little collar that I put a new collar on her that's working. One of these plastic cones, you know, you put around her head. Oh, John's on this morning. Good morning, John. How's everything up in Halifax? Glad to see everybody come aboard this morning. Hey, Google, tell us a joke.
What did Jay-Z call his wife before they got married? Fiance.
Fiance. Jay-Z, is he a musical person, or see, I'm not up on musical stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Beyonce. Mm-hmm. Okay. See, I don't know about that stuff. Only thing I know, the old stuff. You know, you know, the Eagles and that kind of music. So I'm old. You know. Anyways, so
Eagles, the Beatles,
the
John
Eagles,
and
Skinner and
Bee
Gees, and hey, this morning I thought I would talk a little bit about driveway camping. You ever done any driveway camping? You know, I thought about this subject yesterday when I first thought about it. I was thinking about, well, just camping in your own driveway. But another form of driveway camping would be, you have a friend, you can park in my driveway. Look at this one. This guy's almost a little big. I think that's almost like Ron's camper in yours and out back. Packed up yesterday and it was raining. Oh, so Ronnie came home yesterday, so he's not camping this morning.
That's cool.
Oh, what?
Well, Denny's got a comment too.
And Denny says Class B for sale in Clearwater.
Hey,
I wonder what kind
gonna
of
join the Class B group then?
Yeah, get in the Class B group. There you go.
Oh, wow.
So anyways, driveway camping may be, you know, Denny comes over and camp in my driveway, or Ron comes over and camp in my driveway. That's driveway camping. I guess if you wanted to, you could go out and camp in your own camper in your driveway too. And so a little bit of thing that's like some areas, like some HOAs, they would not allow that. Well, it's none of their business, but that's an HOA. You sign up for that when you get into that community. I wouldn't want to live in that type of community. And some local stuff, which I feel is none of their business, could say, well, like this camper in the picture, well, that's too long, you know. Hey, you know, if it's temporary for a week or no more, you know, who cares, you know. So anyways, that's a little bit about driveway camping. You know, they're and you know, they could hook up. I've got a few YouTube friends I follow, and I said, if you're in this area, you need a place to park. You know, they're like nomads, and I said, you're welcome to park in my driveway, you know, around Daytona Beachway. Hey, John, if you're ever down this way, you can pull in the driveway, you know. You can't stay forever, but you can stay for a week or two, you know, and hang out. And
use some electricity?
Yeah, use some electricity and stuff, you know, and so you can do that. Only thing we have is we go to bed at 10 o'clock. It could be quiet, you know. I get up early, I go to bed early. That's the only thing, but otherwise you're welcome. So anyways, driveway camping was something that, you know, I didn't think about. When I first heard it, I was thinking more about camping in your own vehicle. Then he says, on your site, someone is looking for a Class B. Yeah, I seen that this morning. Someone on our road trekking site was looking. there's a lot of people looking for Class Bs. They're really sought after a lot, you know, especially certain years. They looking for the older ones. What as they say, 1995. Oh, no problem, John. You're welcome. You know, hey, you know, you make friends on these groups and stuff there, and you convey it. You know, we've got friends. I don't know how I met Ruth and Ian. They're from England, you know, and they come over and stay with some friends and stuff. But you know, you make friends and you extend hospitality. So, anyways, driveway camping would be interesting. Sue says, well, we can go out and camp in our own driveway, but you know, I think I'd rather stay in the house. I did go out in the camper, not the last hurricane, the hurricane before, and took a shower because we were out, you know. Yeah, John says getting a feeling that Roadtrek holds its value, and it does, especially the older ones. They seem to be less problematic, and people are looking for it. Like I said, a week or so ago, a young man stopped at a house and knocked on the door and wanted to know if I wanted to sell our Roadtrek, you know, and he claimed he had the cash in his hand, and he said, I got it in my pocket, I'll buy it right off now, but his price was too low. You know, so we didn't come to a deal on it. Right now, don't really want to sell it. We'd have to replace it. And he says a 97 Dodge with twin beds. Now, see, that'd be nice. Twin beds is the way to go for us. You know, everybody has what they're looking for in their camper, but twin beds is good. You know, another thing I was saying about how to keep cool, and actually how to keep warm too, in your camper. Let me show a picture here of this guy. That is called Reflectex. A lot of people will put Reflectex on their windows and it'll block out sun, and I think it'll even help keep it cooler and more private. Now, I don't like that. I like my windows open, but you know, if it really is hot and you needs to keep cool, you know, you can do this. This is a good way to cool it down. People make those that fit on the inside of their windows. They cut them out and then they keep them, and you can put them up or off as needed. And this is another good way that if you want to try to keep your camper cooler and you know, keep the warmth or the heat, either way, you know, it helps do it. I mean, let's face it, these campers aren't the best insulated things. It's like the Roadtrek isn't too much more than, you know, a van, and cars and vans and stuff get hot. I know ours does. We went camping, and you know, you get it cooled down in there. You hate to open the door and let that cool air out. It's kind of like we used to in the wintertime do, you know, closed doors. You're born in the barn. Well, that's the way it is to keep the cools in. John says, I just cut some for the inside of the windows for privacy at night. Yeah, I mean, it's good. They're cheap. They're easy. Then he says, stay warm to the F.
Come to Florida.
Oh, come to Florida. Yeah, come to Florida. Yeah. Well, you know, and that's all good, too. This year was cold. You know, I mean, it was really a cold winter this year.
Not cold like up where John's at, though.
Well, right. And John would go, you guys are nuts. It wasn't cold down there, you know. I mean, we had days it was only in the 50s. Now that's cold to us.
We had nights in the 20s.
We had some nights in the 20s. We had a few frost nights, you know. And so, yeah, John, you're smart for cutting those out. They are multiple use, you know, for privacy. You can block it out, you know, and especially at nighttime, you want to be private in there and people not looking in. So that's one advantage. Plus, they'll help insulate, keep warm, keep the hot sun out,
And help keep it cool.
keep it cooler. You know, these fantastic fans are really great. You know, now if you take and run that fantastic fan and open your windows, boy, you can just feel the breeze that pulls through the camper. It really, really makes a big difference. And those things will run on 12 volts, and you know, it'll keep it nice and cool on there. I seen those. Was Bob Wells yesterday. I was watching some of his video, and he was talking about, you know, keeping cool and things to
He
do.
did a live stream, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a live stream. Yes, he does it on Sundays. He does a live stream on Sunday at, I don't know,
2,
4.
I think.
Is it? Well, I think it's 4 o'clock.
Was it 4?
Yeah, he does his live streams. He's that's like the one to do here. We're in Eastern time zone right now for a morning coffee chat. If you're Central or California time, Pacific time, it's probably way too early yet. But that means I would have to do the live stream here at noon in order to be early morning out west. So by noon, I don't know. It would seem odd for me doing a coffee chat. But the nice thing about live stream chats, they're on later on, and you can join them and watch them, comment on them, and the comments will show up. I don't know, not many people do that. I don't know why. But
what about a 10 o'clock one? We could do one at 10.
You could do it 10 o'clock, but that's just not a good time. For our lifestyle, it's just not a good time, you know. Good time for me is 5 and 6, but that doesn't work out for most people. But personally for me, 5 and 6 in the morning, 'cause that's when I get up, but that don't work out. And so the 8 o'clock, I put it in there as kind of like a happy medium. I'm sure some would prefer 9 o'clock, you know. But again, it's just, yeah, and this is a Gulf Coast, yeah. That side of the Florida is called the Gulf Coast. This is the Atlantic Coast. That's what Sue had said. So anyways, that's, you know, a little bit about keeping warm and keeping cool in your RV. You know, it goes both ways. I don't mind warm. I can handle it. But when it's cold, I cannot handle the cold. It hurts, you know. Cold, I get hot, you know, and it gets sweaty and it gets, you know, kind of uncomfortable. But I'll take the heat, you know, over the cold anyways, you know, any days. So, but that's why I lived in Florida. I lived in Ohio most of my life. Ron said he joined Southeastern Modeler Flying Club. Cool. You'll enjoy it because, you know, you belong to an RC club. You learn off each other. You help each other. If you got a problem, you can work it out there. I take it you got your props for your expert. You know, I've been having a blast flying that expert. The more I fly it, the more I learn about it. It's a lot of fun. We flying at home. I said I like to fly my tiny whoop. It's not very windy out this morning. I could do that.
This, Bob.
Which
this
I show.
Is you in the winter. Take this and hold it up. This is you when it was just barely chilly here.
Alright, I don't know if you can see this or not.
There.
This is
how Bob
This is how I, in Florida wintertime, now it was probably 50 degrees out.
This was March.
This was probably March, so we took the picture. You
Bob.
got the dogs on you, and you got a blanket on, and so this is how you act as you're a Floridian when it gets down to 50 degrees. So, anyways, we're wimps.
That was for John to see.
Yeah, John will go, you wimp. John's a tough man, I tell you what. He lives up there.
John
in
was
Halifax.
probably out trekking in the snow.
Yeah, he's out. If it was 50 degrees, he'd have shorts on and a tank top. And I tell you something, the longer you live in Florida, the worse it gets. I've been down here 20 years, and anything below 70, I'm freezing. You know, and I laugh.
2-dog morning.
What is that? Oh, yeah, 2-dog morning.
Not a 3-dog night.
Yeah, not a 3-dog night. That was a 2-dog morning.
John, you know the meaning of that song title.
Yeah, 3-dog night. You know. So, anyways, that's crazy, but that's what happens. I said I used to laugh when I first moved down here, 70 degrees, and people had coats on. It's like, what's wrong with those people? You know, I was wearing shorts and t-shirt, and after you've been a while, your blood thins down, and so now I'm one of those. I guess I consider myself a Floridian, not Ohioan. I never really, I don't know. I think I was born in the wrong state. You know, well, my whole life I didn't like Ohio, and I love it here. So I just think I was born in the wrong state. You know, and you know I've been watching. I might have said this before. I watched. And Ron said the air is cooler there. He's in North Carolina, you know, and it gets chilly there. But I've been watching, I watch all these travel shows and people traveling around the country, and a lot of them's out west. I've noticed a lot of these nomads, and that they're all out west. And I believe it's, for one, there's a lot of camping out that way, a lot of free camping out that way. But the scenery, now, I'm not impressed with mountains. I just never have been. And out west, it just looks like dry, and it's rocks, and I said, people love rocks. You know, it's like, they go, oh, look at this beautiful, and it's a big old hunk of rocks, you know. Now, most people like them. Me personally, it's like, oh, they're okay, yeah, that's cool, but I'm not.
It's arid there.
Arid?
It's drier.
It's dry there, yeah.
Dry, and it doesn't have humidity that Florida has.
Yeah, so, but it, you know, I mean, it's everybody likes something different.
That's right.
You know, now Florida, I love it. I have never found or seen any place better than Florida. I just love it here. You know, it's like, it's great. Yeah, John says gets down to -5 and a -10 up here in February. Yeah, I mean, it just gets so cold up there, and that's why Ohio used to get spells where we'd get down way below 0, and I mean, cold. It's like, but I don't deal well with the cold. But everybody has their own, you know. Yeah, you dress for it. I know, but I just can't get warm. You know, it's mine. I just can't. Danny says, Chad, he loves South Carolina. South Carolina, yeah, and stay in heating buildings. But you know, that's something you say, stay in heated buildings. We stay in the air conditioning in the summer. Oh, Tammy came aboard. Chad was trying to get online. Hey, Tammy, welcome. Glad to see you on here. She's just trying to catch up with conversations about. Same as in Florida, you stay indoors in air conditioning in the summertime. So, hey, welcome aboard, Tammy. Tammy's been trying to join us and get online in the morning. So glad to see her come aboard this morning. So yeah, everybody, you know, you have your things. I prefer the hot, and some people prefer the cooler weather. So whatever works for anybody, you know. It's like food. I don't like meat and sweet, like barbecue sauces, and that has a lot of sugar in it. I don't like that. Now, a lot of people love it. That's their thing. We got a little thing of what was that? Pulled pork.
Yeah.
And it was so sweet. I think it was a Jack Daniel's was the brand on it.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing was so sweet, I didn't like it, you know. And so everybody other people love that, but everybody has their own preferences. John said, just retired in September, so plan to enjoy warmer climates in the winter from now on, and lots of travel. Yeah, that'd be great. So John, you can head down and you can come down south here, you know, stop in and see us here in Florida. Tammy says, I'm in St. Louis, and so it's tired of winters. Yeah, St. Louis gets really cold. I've never been to St. Louis, but I know it's cold there.
Yeah, been through there.
Yeah, and you've been through it. Sue's
Been through it.
and, I haven't been very far west. I've been to Colorado.
That's pretty far away.
It is, but I flew over there. You know, I didn't like Colorado at all. You know.
Denny and I drove back and forth across the country. Remember, Denny? In 3 days.
Yeah, that's a lot of traveling across that way. You know. Yeah, I went there. In fact, I was watching Traveling with Robert.
Yeah, I'll type that in here.
And he was in Colorado and showed some places where I was, where Buffalo Bill was buried, and Golden, Colorado. We went through the Coors Brewery in there, but I just didn't care much. It was cold. It was September. It was cold as heck there. John says we will stop by and stay there if we're in there. Good. That's cool, John. Make a plan for that. It'd be fun. So anyways, you know, everybody has different things. Where you like to travel, where you like to go. And so anyways, that's... hey, Denny, how long are you going to stay down? You're going to stay here probably at least till June, huh? I wasn't sure how long Denny was hanging in Florida. Denny goes back up to Ohio in the summertime, and then comes down here where it's nice in the wintertime. So he
like Traveling with Robert.
Yeah, Traveling with Robert. That's you know, if you haven't watched it, I don't just usually plug everybody's YouTube channel, but he puts on a nice traveling video. So if you are like enjoy watching YouTube, we watch YouTube channels all the time.
He pulls a small Winnebago.
Yeah, he lives in Miami, and he travels everywhere. I mean,
he's Cuban.
He's Cuban. He has a little accent, but he has a very good video. He produces all his own music on his video. But once you watch it, it feels like you've just been there. You know, I mean, he's very thorough on it. Ron says we have been to the West Coast and to the East Coast. Yeah, I've been to Hawaii, but I flew over there. Tammy says I've always loved the changing the seasons, but I'm getting too old to deal with the extreme heat and cold. Yeah, well, you know, and too, a lot of people said that Florida doesn't have a season change, but it really does. After living here, you'll see things start to change on it. We just have, basically we have about 3 to maybe 4 months of real warm weather, and the rest of it's paradise. It's beautiful. The rest, we get good 8 months of beautiful weather and we have, you know, a few months that. So John says Heather and I are heading to Holland tomorrow. Wow. And
Holland, Michigan.
Is it Holland, Michigan, or Holland the
Holland, the country?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Either way, I've been to Holland, Michigan.
But not in the RV, so.
Holland, Michigan's got the tulips,
Yeah.
that they come up there, and I've been up there. So, but either way, that sounds like a fun trip. We also this morning I wanted to show you.
I have been there, John.
You've been to Holland. You've been to Holland, Michigan, or you've been to both?
Holland, the country.
You've been Holland, the country, on it. Well, today down here in Port Canaveral, they have a cruise started up. They're taking a cruise to Cuba. This will be the first. I think it's the first time ever that they do it. I got some info here that I can make sure I'm telling right. Yeah, it says Norwegian Sun expectedly to arrive early Monday morning and at Terminal 10 at Port Canaveral. They keep building the port up down at Port Canaveral. It's fun to go down and watch cruise ships go in and out. But today they sail off and go to Cuba.
Well, it would be cool to go down to see that. Plus, they've got the big rocket launch today.
Yeah, they do have a rocket launch today. So they got a few things going on. I forget what agency's launching, but 4 o'clock they have a rocket launch.
It must be SpaceX because it's the one that will eventually take people.
So it's by Elon
into
Musk
space.
and SpaceX on it. So anyway, so they're going to take this ship to Cuba, and I think Cuba would be interesting to visit. Especially they have all these old cars. They keep piecing them together and keep making them run. So you know, now you can go to Cuba. So first cruise ship to Cuba. It'll leave out of Port Canaveral today. So that's something new to come on in the area here.
Our church used to send missionary trips to Cuba, but up until recently, Americans could not fly from America, U.S. to Cuba. We always had to fly. They always had to fly to Canada to fly out of Canada.
Flying to go to Cuba. So,
because of the travel embargo.
To do a mission trip.
Mission trip, yeah. But now you can fly directly out of the U.S.
No, John says rocket launch is on my bucket list. I tell you what, rocket launches are really cool. I don't. Denny said I've been there too. Cool.
The military.
Oh yeah, the military will send you all over the place. Yeah, the rocket launches are cool. I mean, I rarely ever miss a rocket launch. Back when they shot the shuttles up, the shuttles, we got that one rocket went up here that was the one where they sent the Tesla up in. That was pretty cool one. I've got some videos online on that, and that was a pretty good one. The night ones are the best because they light up the sky. The one today is going to go up at 4 o'clock, and this won't be a huge rocket, but depending on if the sky is clear, you can see it clearly with my camera. If I can get it to stay in focus, I can actually see the rocket itself when I zoom in, but it's my camera wants to get out of focus. It drives me crazy. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I like to take some pictures of it. He says planning to move into something on wheels and chase the perfect climate and see beautiful United States. I've only been to Florida and New Jersey and worked in California and Colorado for a few months. So yeah, you know, traveling hot air balloons too would be cool. And then he said he was on a ship with a hole in it. So yeah, hey Tammy, that's a cool way to do. I don't know if you watch these traveling nomad videos on YouTube or not, but it's really a good way to check out the country and see how everybody lives some of them live in Class B, some of them have Class A's and C's. You know, they've got big campers they pull. Everybody has a different way of doing it, but it's a good way to see the country, travel around and live in it. You know, a lot of these people. I have one that I follow is Howie Roll, and I've been following him for a couple years now, and I always will chat back and forth with him on his videos. But he was down in Keys. He lived in Keys for a couple years and was saving money up. He has just it's not a he made his own. It's a camper. It's a van. I think it's a Ford chassis, and he lives in it, and he's been living in it for several years, and he was saving up money. He tends bar down in Key West, he did, but he started moving around. He was up by my brother's, up by Ron's place there, went up through that way, and he's out in California now. And so I follow him, and I've always told him if he's in this area, you can stop by and park here. But you know, there's a lot of different, you know, they call them nomads that travel around and go different areas and that. So that would be a fun way to see the country there. Take your time. I think the way to do it. Some of those people, when they move on, they'll stay places for a week or two, or maybe longer. But then when they move on, maybe only go 100 miles, even less, and just slowly move around. For me, I don't like to drive. I hate to drive, you know. So the less I'd have to move down the road, the better it is, you know. And plus, the longer you stay in one spot, you're not spending as much money in gas. Gas has gotten expensive. I see it's going to get up to $3 a gallon. Keeps going. It's crazy, and so it gets really expensive moving around there. So, but yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can travel around the country, and we have it so nice here. Tammy says Cuban would be an amazing trip. Yeah, I think Cuban would be on. Yeah, John, we'll catch you later. I think we're going to get ready to get out here for today. Glad to see everybody come by. Tammy, John, Denny, Ron, all you guys come by this morning. I love it when people stop by. It really makes for a really fun chat. So we're and again, if you're watching this later on, this will be on afterwards, and you can watch it and know when it's not live. But you can leave comments and join the conversation that way. And you can also, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and you'll know what's going on. Hit the little bell, and it'll notify you. Let's see what day Ron says. Now we're gone for a week. We're ready to go home. Yeah, you know something, I'm that way too. I go out for a while, and I'm usually ready to get back home. There's something about home, but depends on the person. Some people just love they have what they call wandering feet and be on the road all the time. Okay, so we're going to get out of here for today. So again, glad to see everybody come by. Appreciate everybody and the responses there in the sport. It just makes for a fun morning coffee chat. We'll be on live again tomorrow morning. If you got any comments, or I'm always looking for subjects. I go through and pick out subjects. So if you got a subject you want to chat about tomorrow, leave it in the comment section below, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So everybody have a good Monday, and we'll see everybody again tomorrow.